Good morning, friends. I am Sasikumar. My topic is about optimizing physical security using two-way line protocol. And my guide name is Dayalan, and my co-guide name is P. Karthikeyan. And my objective is a two-way relaying network in which two secure exchange data through a relay and a cooperative jammer transmit an artificial noise, which a number of nearby eavesdroppers overhear to recover data from both sources. A two-wired wireless powered communication between two relay network where there is a noise happen between two from source to destination. The two protocols are PSTWR and TSTWR. Is my objectives and my existing system. The communication between a source to destination where the data is passed through the relay. The data will not be secure because of jammer and multiple eavesdroppers. The data will be broadcasting through the untrusted relay, so there is no guarantee for the data. In existing system, the algorithm uses data encryption standard. This is the architecture of existing system. Here, source 1 and source 2, the communication between source 1 and source 2, the message will be passed through the jammer and untrusted relays. Some of the drawbacks of existing system. Uh, During the data exchange between a source and destination, there is no secure communication, and multiple eavesdroppers are present over the network. There is no guarantee for the data. This is the literature survey. I referred two papers, and in my proposed system, a wireless powered two-way relaying model for secure communication in presence of multiple eavesdroppers and solve the problem of how to maximize the minimum guarantee secrecy capacity. Here in my proposed system, the two secure relaying protocols are PSTWR, which means a power splitting based two-way relaying protocol, and a time switching based two-way relaying protocol. This adaptively control the amount of energy harvesting from the received signal by means of splitting and time switching. In my proposed system, I used advanced encryption standard. That's the algorithm I'm going to use. Because of using AES algorithm, advanced encryption standard, there will be a secure communication between source to destination. Some of the advantages of my proposed system is secure communication between source and destination. Because of generating a secret key, data will be guaranteed. File will be split into different part and stored in different part with a different key. So there will be a key for each and every user for a single file. This are all my advantages, and this is my architecture of my proposed system. Here the owner will upload the file, then the file will be split into parts, then the file will store in a cloud database. Then if any user want to get that file, he have to get the permission from the owner. Once he get the permission from owner, then he may use that file. For that, the owner will give the secret key only for the particular user who is requested for him. This is my architecture, and this is my hardware and software specifications. I am using Java as a front end, and back end is MySQL. The IDE is Eclipse. I am using 6 modules: user authenticate, upload file, splitting file with generating key, user request, user validating a verified user, response and getting key, then merge file with the help of keys. This is my module description. First module is about user authentication. Second is uploading the file. Third is splitting file with generating key. Fourth one is the user will request for the file. Fifth one is user validating of verified user. This is controlled by cloud. Then final is merging the keys and downloading the file. This is the use case diagram. Here the cloud user and cloud owner will access the main. Then the user will log in. Then he upload the file. Then he requests the files. Finally, the cloud will respond to the user request. This on a class diagram. Here, see the cloud. In cloud owner, the file uploaded. Once the file uploaded, then the file will be split into four parts. In cloud, the file will be stored with a secret key. Each one having a unique key. This is a sequence diagram, and this is a collaboration. And this is the data flow diagram. Level 0. First, the login and the data secure file is uploaded. Then a key will be generated, and finally, split file and cloud storage. Then access the file by the user. And this is the level 1. This is the ER diagram, entity relationship diagram. First, login, registration and the request key for the user 1. Then file will be splitted. User request key and secure file. Then converter will convert the to the cloud. Finally, the owner will upload the file and key generated. This is my screenshots. This is the home page. This is the registration page where the user will register with the name, password, confirm password, email address, and date of birth. This is the user login. Once the registration is completed, the user will log in the site. This is the file uploading page. The user want to upload the file. Then this is the splitting file with a generating key. This page is a user request. The second user will request for the first user file. Next, the user will respond. Once the user will accept the request, you have to click the accept to send the data. Request for match files. Finally, the second user will click on the match files. Then the file will be measured into single file. This is the match file name, username, and owner name, and number of pages. This is that particular file. The user upload the first file. Then finally, the second user will download the file from the folder. This is my database, MySQL register page. This is upload page, and finally, my conclusion is a wireless power TV relay model for secure communication in presence of multiple eavesdroppers, and solve the problem of how to minimize the guaranteed security capacity. After using this site, the file will be secure communication between source to destination using two protocols, a PSTWR and a TSTWR. This is my projects. So in future there may be enhancement. Some of them are extensive investigation of relay network to meet the performance requirements of next generation wireless system. Therefore, algorithm in my proposed I am using AES algorithm in existing DES algorithm, but in future there may be a chance of using WordNet 4 or a DB5 PDF5. In future, to increase the working performance of both algorithms to support it semantically by using these databases. Now we go for a demo. Yeah, this is my home page. You have to register first. to enter the password. Then you have to enter the confirm password. Then you have to give the then address, find the data password. Then submit now. Then log in the username. Enter the password. Submit now. Then you have to upload the file. Then I submit that file. Then I log out. Now we have to register with the second user who is going to request a file from the owner. This give you a mail ID. Then I submit now. Here we have to log in the second user. Then upload the file. Yeah, this is the second file uploaded by the second user. Then I log out. Yeah. Now the first user will be the owner and second user will be the user. Both will upload the files into the cloud. Now the cloud admin will give the request for the users. Yeah, this one is the file owner who is uploaded the WSN healthcare file, which is containing 12 pages. Yeah, this one is the admin page. Then we have to log out. Then log in the second user. That is a user who is going to request for the owner. Jay, what is? This is the username is Sarvana, who is the owner of the file, we have to request for the admin and the user. Then log out. This is the user request page. See, this is the sender name is Ajay, the file name is WSN, file owner name is Sarvana, and the number of pages containing the file is 12. Now the admin have to accept the request from the second user. Yeah, the request should be accepted by the admin. Then login with the first user, which is file owner. So, yeah, now response. Yeah, this is the key, which is the secret key of the file. Now the owner will accept the request from the user. Then log out. Finally, the second user is accepted the file. Yeah, this is the final user. The username is Sarama and the file name is WSN healthcare final. Then the key is this one secret key and the number of pages is 12. Finally, the request is a merge file. Both the admin and the file owner Sarama will accept the second user request. That's why this merge file is coming here. See, this is the file name and the username is Ajay and the owner name is Sarama and the number of pages containing the file is 12. Click on the submit button. Yeah. Now the splitter files are stored in one particular file, that is username and the file name. Then once if you submit this, click on the submit button, then the file will be downloaded. Yeah. See, the file will be downloaded. This is the file. That's all about my project. So thank you. Yeah, this is the feature announcement, the conclusion of my project. So, and, the main objective of my project is simply securing a file between a source to destination. These are all my references. I referred 5 papers for doing this project. That's all about my projects. Thank you.